Sometimes the most important heroes are the ones we do not see. Their work is done in quiet rooms, their names hidden in files, their stories are not told for many years. We often celebrate loud, famous figures, but history is also built by steady hands and brilliant minds that work far from the spotlight. Imagine holding a golden dollar coin in your hand. On one side, you might see Sacagawea, but flip the coin to another side, and you might see a different Native American pioneer, one who explored a frontier of stars and space. This is the story of Mary Golda Ross, a proud member of the Cherokee Nation, one of America's first female engineers. Her life was a journey of breaking barriers. She did not lead armies or give famous speeches. Instead, she used mathematics, numbers, and logic to solve the hardest problems of her time. She helped design airplanes to protect the country during World War II. Later, she worked on top-secret projects that shaped the Cold War, a tense standoff between powerful nations. She helped figure out how to build missiles that could fly across continents, and how to launch spy satellites to watch the world from above. Her calculations were like invisible threads, weaving modern flight and space exploration together. Mary's story is not just about rockets or secret plans. It is about a young Cherokee girl from Oklahoma who followed a love of learning, even when the world said some paths weren't for her. Mary Golda Ross was born on August 9, 1908. She was born in a small town called Park Hill, Oklahoma. This area was not just any place. It was the heart of the Cherokee Nation. Her family had deep roots in Cherokee history and culture. Her great-great-grandfather, John Ross, had been the longest-serving principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. He was a leader who guided his people through some of their most difficult times, including the tragic Trail of Tears. From a very young age, Mary was surrounded by the values of her people, a strong belief in community. She was raised with a deep respect for learning, and the importance of contributing to the good of the tribe. These values would guide her for her entire life. Growing up, Mary learned the ways of the Cherokee people. She learned their history. She learned their language. She practiced their traditions. At the same time, she went to school and learned about the wider world. She was a bright, curious child who loved to read and learn new things. Her home was a place where education was seen as a powerful tool. The Cherokee Nation valued education for both boys and girls. That stance was uncommon in the United States at the time. This supportive environment gave Mary the confidence to pursue her interests, especially mathematics. Her exceptional mind was obvious to her teachers from an early age. She was sent to live with her grandparents in Tahlequah, the capital of the Cherokee Nation, to attend a better school. There, her passion for learning grew stronger. She finished high school at just 16 years old, already showing the drive that would define her career. After finishing high school so early, Mary knew she wanted to continue her education. She enrolled at Northeastern State Teachers College in Tahlequah, the same school her father had attended. At first, she wasn't sure what she wanted to study, but her love for numbers quickly guided her to major in mathematics. In college, she found a world where her talents could truly shine. The complex equations that confused many of her classmates were like a beautiful language to her. The logical proofs that puzzled others also felt natural to her. She graduated with her bachelor's degree in mathematics in 1928, ready to share her knowledge with others. For the next several years, she did just that, working as a math teacher and as a science teacher in rural Oklahoma schools. Being a teacher was a noble profession, but Mary's mind was hungry for bigger challenges. During her summers off from teaching, she decided to go back to school. She attended what is now the University of Northern Colorado to earn her master's degree. This was a very big step. In the 1930s, it was rare for any woman to pursue an advanced degree, especially in a field like mathematics. For a Native American woman, it was almost unheard of. But Mary was never one to be stopped by what was common or expected. In 1938, she proudly received her master's degree in mathematics. After teaching for a while, she took a job working for the Bureau of Indian Affairs as a statistical clerk in Washington, D.C. This role allowed her to use her math skills in a different way, analyzing data and helping to manage records. She later served as a girls' advisor at a Native American boarding school in New Mexico. In all these roles, she was dedicated and hardworking, but she longed to solve even more complex problems. In 1941, the United States entered World War II, and the entire country mobilized to support the war effort. Factories that once made cars started making tanks. Companies that built small planes began designing powerful new fighter aircraft. This massive effort required the best and brightest minds, and doors that had been closed to women began to open. With many men away fighting overseas, companies were desperate for skilled workers. Mary Golda Ross's father encouraged her to seek a new opportunity on the West Coast where the aviation industry was booming. In 1942, Mary was hired by the Lockheed Aircraft Corporation in California. Lockheed was a leading airplane manufacturer working around the clock to design and build warplanes. Mary was hired as a mathematician, often called a computer back then, because complex calculations were done by hand. Her job: solve incredibly difficult mathematical problems for new, faster airplanes. She worked on the P-38 Lightning, one of the fastest, most powerful fighters of the war. Her calculations helped engineers predict high-speed behavior and make the plane more stable in flight. Mary proved she was more than a human calculator. Supervisors saw her exceptional grasp of flight physics and the engineering challenges behind designs. Lockheed sent her to UCLA for a professional certification in aeronautical engineering. She transitioned from mathematician to full-fledged engineer, a title few women held then. She broke new ground every day. She worked on aeroelasticity, how air forces affect structures, ensuring planes could withstand extreme combat stresses. After World War II ended, the world entered a new and tense era known as the Cold War. This was not a war fought with armies on battlefields, but a conflict of technology, intelligence, secrets between the United States and the Soviet Union. To stay ahead, Lockheed created a top-secret research and development group in 1943, officially the Advanced Development Projects Division, the Skunk Works. The name came from a popular comic strip and fit its mysterious nature. It was a small, highly secretive team of the company's most brilliant engineers and designers. They imagined the future of flight and built it, often in complete secrecy. They designed some of the most legendary aircraft in history: U-2 spy plane, SR-71 Blackbird, the fastest air-breathing jet ever built. In 1952, Mary Golda Ross was handpicked to be one of the founding members. Out of the 40 engineers on the original team, she was the only woman. Inside the secret world of the Skunk Works, she was treated as an engineer, valued for the power of her mind. She later said, "I was the pencil pusher, one of the founding engineers of the Skunk Works. I was the only female engineer there." Her role was to work on theoretical concepts and performance calculations. The projects were highly classified. She could not talk about her work, even with family. She worked on concepts for satellites, ballistic missiles, and vehicles that could travel into space. Her quiet, focused dedication and mastery of mathematics made her invaluable, a secret hero working on the nation's most important secrets. Inside the top-secret Skunk Works, Mary Golda Ross played a crucial role: engineers at work in a lab. One of her most important areas of work was on ballistic missiles. These were rockets that could travel long distances, even between continents, to deliver a payload. Mary's job was preliminary designs and performance calculations for these missiles. She calculated trajectories, fuel requirements, and the immense stresses as they re-entered the Earth's atmosphere. Another critical project she contributed to was the Agena rocket, a versatile upper stage used in the early space race. It launched many of America's first spy satellites into orbit, eyes in the sky monitoring military activities in the Soviet Union and beyond. Mary's work helped ensure Agena could carry secret payloads into correct orbits. Her calculations were fundamental to early reconnaissance. She also explored the challenges of interplanetary flight, analyzing orbital mechanics, planning routes, Earth to Mars, Earth to Venus, laying groundwork for exploration. Many contributions were hidden in classified reports. She wasn't at press conferences. She was in the back room poring over numbers. Her work was the invisible foundation for many projects, helping the United States gain a technological edge during a dangerous era. Her quiet brilliance in the shadows of Skunk Works helped shape the sky, filling it with the machines that defined a new age of power and exploration. While much of Mary's work was military and intelligence, her mind was captivated by peaceful exploration. As the space race heated up, NASA formed and looked to experts like Lockheed. Mary's expertise in orbital mechanics made her a natural contributor. She joined a team thinking beyond Earth's orbit. One major contribution was her co-authorship of NASA's Planetary Flight Handbook, a foundational text for mission planning. Like a detailed roadmap for space travel, it contained charts, graphs, and calculations describing trajectories, speeds, and timing for flights to Mars and Venus. It explored flybys, orbiters, landings, and advanced ideas like gravity assist, concepts so ahead of their time they wouldn't be used for years. Mary could switch from a top-secret satellite to charting a course to Venus, driven by the challenge, for security, and for knowledge. quiet, foundational work that didn't make headlines became indispensable to iconic missions. She was helping to write the manual for the space age. Mary Golda Ross retired from Lockheed in 1973 after a long and distinguished career. But her work was far from over. She had spent decades breaking barriers for herself, and now she dedicated her time to helping others follow in her footsteps. She encouraged young people, especially young women and Native American students, to pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. She traveled across the country, speaking at schools and conferences, inspiring the next generation. She was active in the Society of Women Engineers, mentoring younger women and advocating for inclusion. She helped found the American Indian Science and Engineering Society to increase Native representation in STEM. In public appearances, she often wore traditional Cherokee clothing, connecting past and future, proving one can be a modern scientist and deeply rooted in culture. Mary never sought the spotlight, but she understood the importance of being a role model. Her story gave hope to a young girl with a math workbook or a Native student dreaming of engineering. She proved that intelligence and talent are everywhere, and with hard work and determination, anyone can achieve great things, making her not just a pioneer of engineering, but a pioneer of opportunity. Mary Golda Ross passed away in 2008, just a few months before her 100th birthday. She left behind a legacy as vast as the sky she helped us explore. For years, her name lived in classified files. As secrets were declassified, her story came to light, revealing a true American hero. Her work secured the nation during the Cold War and helped launch humanity into the space age, measured not just in aircraft and rockets, but in barriers shattered. As one of the first female and Native American engineers, she faced quiet prejudice with grace, letting her work speak for itself and opening the way for others. Today, she is celebrated. In 2019, the U.S. Mint honored her on the Native American dollar coin, a fitting tribute. Schools and museums tell her story, organizations continue her mission. Her life shows that impact often comes from the quietest corners. A daughter of the Cherokee Nation who used her mind to chart a course to the stars, working in the shadows, with a legacy that shines as brightly as the stars she helped us reach.